NERDSoul.
Lay ill kid at OneYoungsta holding it down, bringing in StreetGeek and NERDSoul. What is up, my people? Today, oh yeah, another wonderful episode. NERDSoul Gaming, bang bang, we back, baby. Yes, and I'm not by myself. Open mind, say what's up,
What's up, NERDSoul family? How y'all feeling, FGC?
man. Look, hopefully the FGC feeling good, cause you know what I'm saying.
They
I
better.
don't know why they wouldn't. Like I
They
said in our
better.
last podcast, man, like things is good right now. Don't be hating. You know what I'm saying? We
The
out here
good brothers be
living.
complaining. I still see complaints, mind you, in the Twitterverse and the
Wow.
discourse verse, right? But that's just the entitled, you know, sport brats that they are. You know what I'm saying? We really ain't got nothing to complain about. I don't care what y'all complaining about. If you
Yeah,
take a
you
bird's
don't
eye
really
view,
have nothing to complain about.
if
So
you take a step back, bird's eye view, we eating good in the FGC.
yeah, we looking real good. So I'm gonna start us off with what we real good on. We got Street Fighter 6 up in here, yo. We got Street Fighter 6. How you feeling about that SF6, baby?
Man, I didn't know. I didn't know. Okay, so let me. Day one and two, I gotta be honest. I was getting my butt kicked, right?
Mhm.
Because I haven't played Street Fighter. I stopped playing Street Fighter 5 back in 2017, 2018, right?
Yeah, it's
I just
been a
quit playing.
while.
And other than playing with you and what's his name, Adam,
Alex.
Alex.
I mean, sorry,
Other than
Alan.
playing with
Sorry, that's a
other than
different.
playing
So
with you and
Alan.
Alan, the time me and you and Alan was just on there. If I wasn't playing with y'all two, I wasn't playing Street Fighter 5. So with all this time away from the Street Fighter verse, I had to really refamiliarize myself with just not necessarily a character because I wasn't playing with Zangief at all. That's who I'm playing with now.
Yeah, that's right.
But it's just the movement and the whole everything that comes with Street Fighter. Even if it's a new system, Street Fighter always has like a bare bones like base type of way that it plays. It has a pace. It has
Yeah.
a so I had to, since I've been on a lot of these other games, I had to recondition my mind back to Street Fighter, right? So one day, this day two, I was like irritated and frustrated because I wasn't figuring it out. But then day three came, and usually this happens when you go on a win streak. No, I was on a losing streak, but as I was
Ah.
losing in day two, maybe day three, as I was losing during those fights, I started to understand the game. So I guess in this particular game, this happens to me every game. I play it until I start to understand how the game works. I had to play it to do that, and practice mode doesn't do that for me. Going into fights do that for me.
Okay.
So as I experience how responses work and things just work and just look and feel, it usually happens on a win streak. This time it happened on a losing streak, but as I started to grasp it, I went on a 25 game win streak with Zangief. That's how I wanted to answer that.
Ooh,
Street
not
Fighter system. Yeah,
25, boy.
I went
Boy,
on a
you
losing
you
streak and
and
then I went
Snake
on a
Eyes
win
out
streak.
there killing them, boy.
Yeah, me and Snake Eyes. I don't think I'm on his level. Yeah,
Yo.
I wouldn't put myself on Snake Eyes level. I'm having fun. I ain't acting like I'm the best. I am having fun. 135%. My whole like the way I'm expressing myself on Street Fighter 6 going forward is fun. I'm enjoying myself. I'm not trying to. This ain't no bravado. This ain't no number one hitman in the world stuff. That's in the past. Right now, I'm having a ball. I am enjoying myself, and that's all I'm gonna do. I ain't doing no toxic joint. I ain't arguing with nobody. You know, what I'm not fighting.
You
I'm
know,
not
you gave your life to Christ.
doing
You know what
none
I'm
of
saying?
that, man. I'm finna because this game is so dope. Like, oh my god,
It is. It's a
Fighter
pretty
6,
game, man. It really
bro.
is.
Just the experience. I've been playing it. I've been grinding on it hard. The experience so far. I have a few gripes, but nothing I'm gonna actually speak about publicly. The gripes that I have are not worth talking about. So, with
Yeah.
that said, I like what I think.
Man, look, I've played it on day one. I had it. I had the game up and open, but I wasn't playing the whole time. I was basically like playing in between, waiting for emails and stuff. Like you know how you might email somebody and they take like 15, 30 minutes to email you back. So I was like working in that time, kind of like working with it. I like. I've been. I'll say what I've been working on. We can transition to that in a second. But I've been working on the modern controls, right?
Right, right, right.
And I was going through the roster and I couldn't really find anyone that I really like because I don't play Ryu and Ken anymore. I don't
Right.
play Luke. Luke ain't for me.
He ain't for
I
me
think
either.
Kim looks dope, but I don't like. I didn't like Guy, and I don't like her. Like as far as the play style.
Yeah, I got
Um,
you. I got you.
Lily is okay, but she wasn't as dope as I thought she was gonna be. At least not for
Right.
me. I've seen El Chicote player, and El Chicote be having her looking like the bomb.com on this joint. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Taking it back. But I played Marissa a little bit, didn't really get into it. Um Fiddled around with JP and stuff, wasn't and I ended up falling on a character that I remember swearing off way back when she first was introduced into Street Fighter. And I landed on a character that I guess is similar to the person I'm really waiting for, who is Rashid.
Step over to the dark side.
Man, Cammy actually is kind of fun to play.
Step over into the dark side. And
And the
I
funny
fought your
thing
cat,
is,
so I
I
know.
hate fighting Cammy players, and I guess it's like, yo, I guess can't beat them, join them.
No,
But
no, no. You know, I'm
I
gonna
do
tell you
like
what it
playing
is.
with Cammy.
It's not can't beat them, join them. I'm gonna tell you what it is. It's evolution. It's you going against your older self, saying like, okay, you in the right now time. And let's say you go through a time portal and you go back and you tell yourself, yo, man, Cammy dope. And you tell your other self, man, Cammy, I hate Cammy. You can't stand Cammy. You gripe and you fuss and you fuss. But then they try to Street Fighter 6 comes out.
Yep.
And now the way the buttons are set up and the way the whole the mechanics of the game is set up,
A lot
you know,
different.
now you like Cammy. So, and I'm saying that it's okay. What I'm saying that it's okay, bro. Like modern controls,
Yo,
all this stuff, it's okay
it's
because
fun to play as her. It really is. I gotta get my muscle memory down. Like my muscle memory is still on Guilty Gear Strive Faust. You know what I'm saying? So
I got
I'm
you.
like
It's a
trying to learn
transition.
the buttons and learn like, okay, she does this. Okay, this is when you press forward in this. This is how it works. All right, this is how it's in neutral. I'm just trying to learn that because since I don't play it enough, I don't have
Yeah,
that time to kind of like sit there and go through, the combo trials and stuff like that over and over. But just playing with her in general, whether in combo trials and stuff, and like even playing around with some arcade mode. I think I'm gonna go through the story mode. That'll help out a lot as well.
yeah.
But
I recommend that. Like, if just not to cut you off,
oh yeah, yeah.
if you really and this is for all people who are beginners. Maybe you played Street Fighter here and there in the past, but you really ain't really sat down on, and you went and you maybe Street Fighter 6 is a bit intimidating, and I understand that. I can understand both sides. Me being a veteran player who can, I'm excited to jump into the complications where a lot of people is like, that's kind of daunting. So here's the thing. Here's great news for everybody. It's great news even for veteran players, right? It's not just for beginner players.
Hmm.
Veteran players can benefit from this too. If you play, if you modern controls is not what everybody keeps saying it is. It's a big debate about what's better, classic or modern, and there is no better, right? It's just preference. The best way to describe modern controls, right? If I want to just describe it, is Mortal Kombat variation. The same character with similar normals but different movesets. They can't do this, but they can do that because you don't have that variation, right? And it's not exactly like Mortal Kombat, exactly, but it's similar because if you play on modern controls, there's only certain things you can do because you're playing on modern controls. But if you're playing on classic, there's certain things you can do because you're not playing on modern controls. But you also can't do the things you could do on modern. So, in other words, if your character has a certain special move or a certain normal attack, they would have that access to that on classic. But going to modern, they'll subtract this, that, or the other for that character. And each character has a different subtraction that's unique to them. So I can't say what it is specifically. You just have to pick a character and switch the buttons, go to the menu, switch the buttons back and forth. Also applies to special moves. The special moves that they have firing to that button isn't the only special move that they have. Take E Honda for example. If you play with E Honda on modern controls, he has 3 special moves he can do with the special button directional, back, down, and forward. But he also has 2 other special moves that he can do with modern controls, but you have to do the manual inputs. They're not assigned to that button. He's an example. This isn't across the board. This is just Honda. And each character has a different handicap or a different type of thing that they can and can't do because
it's like a little trade-off, which is cool.
So to say that something is better or worse, not competitive or competitive, we're all just, it's too early in the game for one to say definitively. And for 2, I'm about to be platinum ranked and the game ain't even been out a month. And I wasn't even trying to get to platinum. I wasn't even trying to rank up.
He said he like Billy Seagulls. He said he ain't even want to be signed.
Fam, like I'm really just having fun. Like I'm learning as I go. I'm approaching Street Fighter 6 the way I approach every single fight game I've ever done. Everybody has their way. My way is not foolproof. It's just my way. I go to practice mode and lab with a character briefly, right, to familiarize myself with their moves and how it feels to input that move. I might practice a few custom juggle combos that I can remember offhand. Nothing too complicated, nothing too super flashy that requires a high degree of difficulty, right? I'll go complete as many of their combo trials as I can that are not too complicated. And in doing so, spending that little hour, maybe it may take me an hour to do this. This is maybe an hour process to go to a character's combo trials, and after several attempts, finally getting them and going to the next one. And I don't get all of them, but I'll probably get 80% of them with this character, whoever it is. And I'll go back to training mode freestyle, and now that I'm familiar with this move, that move, how it feels, I'll start practicing maybe 2 or 3 custom juggles that was not in the combo trial. This is something I made up off the top of my head. Then I'll jump into rank. This is the order. I do it this every time. I'll jump into rank with said character. Take the L's. I don't care about wins, losses. I don't care about rank points. I don't care about rank. Why am I in rank? Because ranked players fight differently than custom players. Like casual match fighters, people who have casual matches, they don't go all out. They don't play scummy. There's nothing at stake. So they're not giving it their all. They're probably fighting you. They're probably giving you some pressure. They're probably testing out a new character that they're working with. You're not really getting that actual person's real skill in a casual match. Go to ranked match in any game. I'm talking about 3D.
They're gonna be trying.
Doesn't matter. That particular human that you get matched with is gonna fight you a specific way. And then as you take these fights, you'll start to notice a certain fighting style or habit or tendency among the community. You'll take a mental note, but you'll start to see things done over and over again. Different humans who probably don't know each other, but they've probably seen this before, so they're trying to copy each other. And you'll learn with the character that you've practiced with what you can and can't do. So win or lose, I'm just approaching it. That's how I approached Street Fighter 6. And I was just doing that with Zangief. Wasn't trying to really rank up like that. I'm just winning, losing, going on win streaks, taking L's, whatever. I'm looking at my points. I'm a 5-star gold player right now. By 3 or 4 more fights, I'm a platinum rank. Right? I'll probably be platinum by the time this video actually. By the time you're hearing these words, I'm probably at platinum rank. Right now, as I'm speaking, I'm a 5-star gold. So by the time this video drops and y'all listen, I'll probably be at platinum. Not because I'm trying to get there, but because of just the fun that I'm having and just the opponents that the server's giving me. I can't help it if I'm victorious. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just what it is. But I'm also not arrogant about it. There's absolutely no bravado and no ego about it at all. It's just that I said all that to say that I'm playing on modern controls, yes. but it doesn't mean that it's better or worse. Like they would say that classic is better than modern, and modern's only gonna get you so far. And I'm just like, but I'm beating up the majority of my opponents are playing on classic, and they taking L's from me. So if modern is weak, then that's even better for me that I'm handicapped and I'm about to be platinum ranked. If this is the logic that they're gonna go by, because I don't agree with it. But if we're gonna go by their logic, if modern controls isn't as strong as classic because one's stronger than the other, then classic should never lose to modern, never, because modern is as strong as classic. That's a lie. That's BS. But that is the community's discourse about the whole subject.
I think it's just that it's something new. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's something new. You know, it ruffles feathers, but I don't think it's any. Like you said, I don't think it's a situation where it's any better or worse. It's just different. They're trying to make this game inviting to people of all. Like we were talking about Lotus Sakura. And he's like, you know, when I play 6-button fighting games, I don't really feel it like that. Well, see, in this case, now, this is more like you could say, modern controls is more like a 5-button, maybe 4-button fighter, depending on how you want to play. I mean, it could still be 6 buttons depending on how you map, but I mean,
right.
Like you could essentially have it, like, okay, I have a 6-button pad that I play with on Strive. But of course, Strive doesn't use a 6-button layout. So, you know, I have, you know, the extra 2 buttons for what I want to do, like, you know, like burst and stuff like that. So it's similar here where it's like, yes, you still have the same amount of buttons on your pad, but you don't have to worry about using them for particular attack strengths, if that makes sense. Like, you know, you're able to use those other things for, you know, like whether it's dust or burst or you know, RC, or in this case, you know, like throws or drive, or, you know what I'm saying, like any of that stuff.
Right.
So they're trying to open it up and make it engaging and inviting for people to come and play, because guess what? They want people to play because they want to make money. You know, I mean, and just like dynamic, you got dynamic controls too.
I was having this debate with TJ Storm, and of course he's going to listen to this and call him and cuss me out. But I don't think it was a debate. I just think it was more of a preference for me. Where I stand, I wasn't arguing with him. So maybe he had his reservations about it, but he doesn't really like modern controls, you know, and that's fine. But my where I stood, like where I was coming from, my angle, which I didn't get a chance to actually say this because we had to get off the phone. But my angle is from what you just said, the marketing standpoint. Like you got the old heads like myself and yourself, and even TJ Storm and everybody else that like classic. You've been playing a certain way for so many years, and that's fine.
Yeah,
there's nothing wrong with that. But there's also nothing wrong with something new.
Like think about the people that are, say, 13, 14, kind of this is their first Street Fighter.
They don't know the old way. All they know is the new way, which is the forward directional buttons to do special moves. Like they came into the fighting game era where fighting games were more modern control, like where it's an anime fighter.
Yeah. Especially with Dragon Ball. Dragon Ball brought a lot of people into
Power Rangers. Dragon Ball is 100% modern control.
Yep.
Dragon Ball Fighter Z is 100% modern control. Dragon Ball Budokai is modern control. The 3D Arena Fighter, what's the Jump Force? Jump Force is modern control. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is modern control.
True.
These are fighting games that are not as popular as Tekken and Street Fighter and, you know, all the rest of course, but they're also a lot of people from those communities that are migrating into the Street Fighter community. First of all, the Tekken community plays Street Fighter. The Mortal Kombat community plays Street Fighter.
Mortal Kombat is Mortal Kombat for a while has kind of been modern control-ish.
Always been modern control.
You know, like I mean, of course, they don't have the exact.
They don't have one button,
but it's
special.
very. Modern
They don't have
control.
one button specials, but they do have one button supers, and that's been going on since MK9. They got one button supers and one button. I think it's there are one button attacks. Put it like this: like their special moves are inputs. You got to input those Mortal Kombat moves, but there are certain mechanics and supers in the MK universe that are one button. There are no inputs for it. You just mash two buttons, you get a special, you get a super. It's called your X-ray move.
Yo,
And then there was another move. I can't remember the terminology right now. It's another attack that you can do if you got meter for it. So you get it once per round or once every round or something like that. But it's not an input. It's the universal mechanic, and it does damage if it connects. But it's one button to do it. So there's been like little aspects and tidbits of modern controls in all the fighting games, except Street Fighter. Street Fighter and Tekken are the only two games. Well, I ain't gonna say Tekken. I take that back because Tekken 7 actually started to play with it. It was like an infancy. They tried the little auto combo thing in Tekken 7,
okay.
but nobody really used it. Like I rarely fought people who played on the modern control setting on Tekken 7. Most everybody, even myself, because it's the way it was done. It was too clunky, but I could tell that they were trying. I could tell that Namco was trying to see what it would feel like. But apparently Tekken 8, it looked like they revamped it and rehashed it, so we got to kind of see how it feels. But like modern controls is the way anime fighters and those high-flying, fast-paced fighters are. That's just how they are. You can do special moves with one button. And not all of the special moves, just like a limited amount of them. And that's not just Street Fighter. Like I play these anime fighters in these other games. Like you are limited to a 3 moves. Why? Because you got the left direction, you got the back direction, forward direction, down direction. The up direction is how you jump. So they don't assign a move to the up direction in the special move button because you need that button to jump. So you're restricted to backwards, down, and forward, which will assign 3 special moves to those directions. If that character has, let's say, 5 special moves, well, you're going to have to do the manual inputs for those other 2. And that's what Street Fighter 6 is, but that's actually been the same concept in other games way before Street Fighter. So for me to see it, I'm actually familiar with that. It wasn't a hard transition for me. I picked up Street Fighter 6 like nothing because when I went to the button mapping screen and I started pressing it in the practice mode to kind of see what it looked, I was like, oh, this is actually the same concept. And you're like, oh, that makes sense. Oh, that makes sense. Oh, okay, that makes sense. The feel of it, the pressing of the button, how it feels. It's Street Fighter, but it's a Dragon Ball Z type of approach. It's a DNF duel type of approach. It's another game with Power Ranger type of approach.
Power Rangers.
Guilty Gear Strive, yes.
Which is Power Rangers, which is another game that I love, but so unfortunately.
I would never say that Street Fighter 6 is those games. No, I'm saying the button mapping and the input and how it feels similar to that. And when you get ready to kind of like, when you're in a match with someone and your buttons is set like that, if you do the combo the way you practice it, it feels Gatling like Strive. It feels Gatling like. Classic controls don't feel like that. Of course, you gotta press those buttons manually. But if you just mash one button, it's a Gatling type of situation. Kimberly has a whole Gatling combo with one button. And then you can interchange, like if you mismatch that one button, you can press left or you can press back or down or forward in between there to do a different animation. She can slam, she can kick, she can foot sweep to like end it off. Like you can master one button raw, or you can play with the directions while simultaneously mashing with Kimberly and mix your opponent up and make them think you're going to try to sweep them, but do an overhead attack. Make them think you're going to do the overhead and slam them. Make you think you're going to slam them and foot sweep them. Like she has 3 different enders depending on which direction you're pressing when you're doing her auto combo. Just one button set to modern controls. And I'm just saying, like, it opens up it levels the playing field, right? It from marketing standpoint, it's more dollars in the it's more dollars, and it lets the company give us more DLC. For example, DLC costs money to create, right? We say we want this and we want that. We want this character. I want that character. I want this aspect. I want that aspect. I want this. I want that for the game. It's what we all say. Well, in order to do that, they got to pay people to design this stuff. And to get the money, they got to sell copies of the game. And if only the small boomers who like classic controls, only y'all little niche group buy the game, they're not going to make enough money to give us the things we want. So how do we make this money? Well, we got to appeal to this other group over here. Yeah, but they all scrubs. They just want to play. They just want easy mode combos. They just want this. They just want that. This, whatever the gripe is, listen, they got to sell copies.
Yeah. And if they're scrubs, don't worry about them. You'll mow them down anyway.
But the thing is, modern controls is not easy mode. I don't know why people keep saying that. That's disingenuous. It has its strength, right? I'm not going to act like modern controls don't have one button supers. What I'm saying is it does less damage. There is a handicap. Every one button special move you do, including supers, gives you 15% less damage than you would to do the full input. I've tested it out. I've done Zangief with a button, and I've done his full input in practice mode, and I looked at it. It is a 15% difference. I am losing 15% damage just because I'm too lazy to do the whole full circle. So I started doing the full circle, and I'm getting all that damage. Put it like this. The one button slam with Zangief, I got to do that joint 5 times to beat you. But if I do the full input, I only got to do them 3 times. That's with every character.
And that's how they balance the game, man.
And that's how so how is modern controls, how is it OP if they're doing the move? But here's the thing. I can also do an input and get the same damage you're giving me in your classic controls. So you're playing on classic and I'm playing on modern. As long as I do the actual input, I'll put out the same damage you're putting out. It's up to me. Just because I have the option to do modern, don't mean that that's what I'm doing in that moment. The option is there. But look at your damage meter when I hit you. When I do this move or that move on you, you look at your own damage and you determine whether or not I pressed the button or whether I did the input. See, that's the mind game I get to play with y'all. I'm playing on modern. Are you going to rush in and try to like bully me because I'm on modern and I might be pressing a button? Or are you going to be cautious with me because I might actually do that input on you and get that damage that I would normally get if I was on classic? Because classic is 100% damage. There's nothing on classic that would cause you to get less damage. All 100% of the time, you're going to get the full damage on classic. But modern, it depends on you. It depends on your input. So you're not gonna get the full damage all the time on modern if you don't do the input. I'm okay with that. I have accepted the pros and the cons of modern, and I'll deal with it going forward. I ain't got no problem.
Okay.
It seems like the people who got a problem are the people who ain't playing on modern.
All right, well, let's go ahead and move on. I want to talk about something that is definitely making waves out in them streets. All right, it's definitely making waves. I'm glad to see it. You glad to see it? Coreupt dropped a gameplay trailer. Oh yes, you best believe it.
Baby.
Shouts to Jesse. You know what I'm saying? Jesse
Which
doing it right.
I might not be able to play it because it's on Steam. Ain't no PSN port. But it's still dope though. I still love it though.
Yo, I already my wish list got better already. Cause I got that Coreupt on my wish list already, boy. It's gonna be looking good. Gatling gameplay trailer drop. He said, "Look, y'all, we got something fresh over here."
Yo, he changed the whole game. You notice that?
Yeah, it looks much different.
Like if you think about it, like the characters were much bigger. right? The first build of it, they were much bigger on the screen,
Mm-hmm.
and their combo, like the way they fought was completely different. And then now he seemed like it's not that he made the character smaller, it seemed like he panned the camera back a little bit.
Yeah, like move the camera back a bit. Yeah.
And now we see them as high speed aerial combo type stuff, because they were doing aerial combos in the first build, mind you. Let's not forget. Let's not act like he just now doing aerial combos. But the camera was closer, right? And they also had like what you call them things, cooldown type moves on the screen, like icons, where you can do this when it cools down. So he had that. I forget what we call those things though. I'm saying it wrong. What do you call those things where you got a thing you can do and then it cools down and it resets? What do you call it?
Yeah, I can't remember. I know. I'm trying to think of a game that has it.
Wrong, but I'm trying to describe it better.
It's like because you go into like a burnout kind of situation.
Well, it's like an icon. It's they have these on those MMORPGs where you
like Mortal Kombat was kind of doing it in MKX.
But anyway, that's what Coreupt had. The original build. The camera was a lot closer, which made the characters look a lot bigger on the screen. And yes, there were aerial combos, and it wasn't too far off from what the recent trailer we got. Like, you could still do launchers and jump in the air and do aerial combos, but it was a lot slower, right? He sped up the pace a little bit, which I honestly think, if he's listening, Jesse, if you're listening, I personally think you should slow the pace down just like a notch or two, right? Because I think it's kind of too fast. Because I had to watch that clip 3 or 4 times to kind of see what was happening, and it's like if I can't see what's happening on the screen watching a spectation, I'm probably gonna do that while fighting. Like, how do I react to this? This just blinked up. This like Gatling just blinked and he was across the screen. It's almost like he was lagging. Like
there was a comment in Twitter that said this definitely looks like what you were mentioning a couple years ago, talking to Jesse. And then says the UMVC 3 vibes are starting to come through. Right. And Jesse said, thanks. I'm glad you're able to get those vibes from this. More to come soon. So I think that's kind of what he's aiming for, like a Marvel vs. Capcom kind of wild speed. So, I mean, I think that might just be what we're dealing with, which is this might be one of those crazy wild speed games where it's like, whoa, hold up.
But either way, I'll still play it. I'm not saying I won't play it just because it's too fast. Like, my mind will eventually like lock in. Eventually, like if I take enough fights and I play it enough, let's say I go 5 days straight just grinding it, just like I do any game. On day 5, I'll start to get it. So even if the first 4 days I'm still not understanding what's happening, I'm just mashing, winning by luck, whatever. I'll start to really get, because it's just certain fighting games kind of like, they have a way of letting you know what's happening, even if it's not like verbally explaining it to you or giving you a tutorial. Like, even in tutorials don't tell you everything. Like, some things are happening in the game, and if you're paying attention, it'll just click. It will just click in your head. It's like, all right, this is what's happening. This is what I got to do about it. All right. I'll play it anyway. I just think it needs to slow down just a hair. Yeah, dial the speed back. Keep the gameplay. Keep that whole Gatling combo. Like, keep all of that there, but just the speed of it. Like, just the speed at which it happens. Just dial it back a couple of notches so I can kind of see what happened, because I missed it a lot. Like, if I'm playing that game, I won't be able to do the input right because I missed the hit confirm because it's so fast. Like, if I'm using this character and I'm hit confirming, but it happened so fast that even I didn't see it, right? Because I'm using the character and I'm the one who hit him, but I didn't see it because it was so fast. That's gonna make it hard for me to really like know what's happening, because I play fast-paced games, but I can still see the hit confirm. Like, I almost can't see Gatling hit confirming. He's just zipping across the screen, and then tail. It's like what the
Well,
hell just happened?
from what I've been looking at, it seems like he has sort of like a teleport move, or
Right.
like a quick. So I think that's probably what's being used, I guess. But what I've been focusing on a lot in this trailer is the how beautiful the background looks, and how it's moving, and how the depth is like created when you're watching it. Like this game has come a long way. Even when he's doing his like his moves past her and around her, the movement of the cape material, it's
Hmm.
they're not cutting corners on that. Like, and even when you look into the background, you have like these little like leaves and stuff falling. You have them actually hitting the ground and kind of staying there for a little bit. So they they're putting in some work. And you know what I'm saying? So I'm just happy to see some progress on this. Of course, Jesse's like, "Yo, we got more stuff to come." He said, "We got more content, we got more trailers and reveals to come for the rest of the summer." I know there was Summer Games Fest. I don't know if they dropped anything on that, but I didn't see anything on his Twitter. He did finally reveal a first look at the comic book that he has coming, and I believe there's going to be
Yeah, yeah.
like
He said,
five or
yeah.
so issues. Um, so I'm definitely going to cop them joints. But this, I am very happy to see
Oh
where
yeah,
we're going. I'm glad we looking good, y'all. We looking real good right
most
now.
definitely, bro.
Like Corrupt is looking like the hotness, if you will.
Most definitely.
Yeah, but I I'm excited. Can't wait to get it. This is a game where I'm definitely I'm gonna put some time into this one. I really want to play this. Like
Well, you'll
it's
get
just
to because it's on Steam. I ain't gonna get to.
yeah, it's man. Never know, you know what I'm saying? Never know. You never know.
If he ported to the PSN, I'm definitely gonna be for it.
You know what I'm saying? You never know. You never know what kind of announcement we're gonna get next. Cause I know he has, Team Corrupt working on it, so we'll see what comes next. But Corrupt, dope. Shouts out to Jesse. Shouts out to the music in the trailer from what is it, Drew Makes Beats. Check those guys out, follow them, all that stuff. Keep up with the updates. This stuff is incredible. So, moving on. You, my brother, like a game called Tekken. All right,
Yeah, buddy.
and they got a couple trailers of it since the last time we spoke. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You got a couple people coming in the game, looking strong. You got
Not
Haram
people.
coming through.
Not people I'm gonna be using. But go ahead.
All right, you know what? Tell me about the people you ain't gonna be using. Cause I saw you on Twitter. I saw you talking about people on Twitter. Now I
I'm,
respect these players.
I'm not gonna be using. Okay. All right. So if this ain't beta, this is games release. Once the game drops, I'm going to practice mode with 3 characters. One of which hasn't been released yet, or hasn't been shown yet. But I know he's gonna be there because it's Tekken. Leroy, June, and Fang. Gonna be my 3. There's no Fang Way trailer, but there's gonna be one. Fang is gonna be on the roster. Even if he's DLC, he's gonna be on the roster because they got Leroy Smith as base roster, and Fang Wei has never not been base roster. So he's either gonna be DLC or he's gonna be base roster at some point at launch. Maybe not beta, but at launch, we're gonna have Fang Wei. That's gonna be my 3. I ain't playing with nobody else. I ain't playing with nobody else. That's it. I don't need nobody else.
He's like, I don't need nobody else. So, how you feel about them Bryan players, man? You had a little.
I respect them. I respect all
Yeah,
Bryan
I
players.
respect them.
I have nothing negative or bad to say about Bryan players. Because you know how you got that. You know how people like right now they hate JP, they hate Kimberly, they hate whoever, they hate some. It's always a character that the community hates, right? They just
Yeah.
hate to take the L. It's always something. Okay, Bryan is that character on Tekken 7 that a lot of people hate. I personally don't hate Bryan. I've taken L's to Bryan, but I feel like this. I'm gonna say this too, and I'm not a Bryan main. I don't main Bryan. I main Leroy and Fang. So let me say this to people who hate Bryan, right? Bryan is an honest character, right? He's honest in the sense that he has just what he needs to get the job done, but he also has a slew of weaknesses, a slew of openings. He recovers fast from a lot of his stuff. True. Yes. I'm not gonna act like Bryan don't recover fast. It's just like, whoa, I thought I had him. How did he recover from that? I know this is what people say, but he has a lot of openings that he exposes himself to when he attacks. So if you lose to Bryan, it's your fault. Like, for real. Like, he's too honest of a character for you to be complaining and saying that he's OP. He's not OP. He's honest. He's balanced. He does some asinine things, yes, but nothing you can't do anything about. Like Bryan not doing nothing that you can't stop. If you can't stop the Bryan, I don't care if he's a God ranked Tekken God Bryan. I've beat some Tekken God Bryan or Tekken 7, and I've fought some lower level Bryans who gave me the business. Right, the Tekken God Bryan lost. I gave that person the business, and there was the lower level Bryans that gave me more of a challenge. Almost to the point where I could barely even get a dub off of these. Like they go on win streaks on me before I get 2 or 3 wins off of them. And these guys were lower ranked than me, and the Tekken guys were taking L's from me. So I'm saying that to say like Bryan is who he is. You know what I'm saying? It's like I don't have that bad to say about it. Like there's no. He's good. Like I'm not gonna use him, but I can't with a straight face say that Bryan doesn't have anything negative to say about that character, and be like, yeah, I feel that way. Nah, like he's too honest of a character. If you lose to Bryan, it's your fault. That's all I gotta say about it. It's your fault if you lost.
Well, look, there you go, y'all. You heard it here first. You know what I'm saying? If you lose to Bryan, it's all your fault.
And that includes me too. Like I'm myself included. Like if you lose,
it's all your fault. Don't be asking for no favors. Don't be saying, no, man, you don't understand. He hit the low forward on me. Nah, I want to hear.
Nah, bro, because he's not a character that you get to say that you get to gripe about. Like I'll give y'all some characters to gripe about if y'all just want to have that conversation. I'm not gonna let y'all gripe about Bryan, and I'm not a Bryan main. Like I don't main Bryan at all. I fight him enough to know that. All right, this guy is who he is, and if I lost because I was lazy, or I was just,
you was trying to mail in them combos,
doing too much, or dropping combos too much, whipping too. It was something I was doing too much of or not enough of. Is why I lost to Bryan. Because he's a very beatable character. Bryan Fury is very beatable. Don't care how cool he looks on a trailer, he's beatable. So if you lose to him, it's your fault. So y'all gonna stop coming for Bryan main. Like I am not a Bryan main, but I am going to stand up for them in the sense to say because they get a lot of heat. It's like, yo, Bryan is his hell sweep is this, his hell sweep is that. Like, yo, like. His hell sweep, you can see it coming. Like real talk, you see the hell sweep coming. You see that overhead orbital coming. Like if Bryan hits you with his orbital or his hell sweep, and it hit confirms, it's your fault. It is what it is, man. I don't know what else to say to y'all, bro. Like,
I don't want to hear it no more. Well, you know what? We gonna finish off with a little game. Huh?
Mortal Kombat.
Oh yeah. That's what I'm going to right now.
Okay, my bad.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Trust me. We ain't gonna miss that. Oh no. See, Mortal Kombat said, "Hey, look, man. I know everybody else got the game out. Got your little street fighting. You know what I'm saying? You got your little Tekken. Right. But you know what? We got a game too. And we get not only the trailer that opened up, we talked about it a little bit, but now we got gameplay. And the way they enter the fights is crazy. Like it's very cinematic, very like the care that they're putting into this game is making me want to play Mortal Kombat. And I haven't played Mortal Kombat since Mortal Kombat 3. Yeah,
Wow.
taking it back. So I
That's a
haven't played Mortal
wow.
Kombat since Mortal Kombat 3. But this is it's so cinematic the way they were opening the fight. There's a couple of gameplay trailers going around because of course, all the cool kids got a chance to go and like play it and get some fights
Yeah.
in.
All the cool
But
kids. Yeah.
but the katana and fire was it Fire Lord or Fire God Liu Kang,
Yeah.
them talking and then it like going straight into I was like, oh, hold up, this is real. Like, talk about the seamless transition from what looks like a beautiful cutscene straight into the fight. And then the way the match is in, and like the winning player kind of walks back over to their side and kind of like a gloaty type way. Like, man, this stuff is
And my boy Kenshi is back.
look. Oh, Kenshi is looking like a straight
Up
dog.
Yakuza gangster. Like, yo, listen. I can't be more excited. Like, I'm getting everything I want right now. Like I'm a big 40-year-old kid. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm getting Mortal Kombat with Kenshi on the base roster, not a DLC. Oh my god!
And the way
I don't
this
even know if
looks,
I want to
man.
play with nobody else yet, and I ain't even announced the rest of the roster. But Kenshi, I get Kenshi out the gate. I have nothing to complain about.
Man, and we getting what seems to be kind of like an assist system where you get time to come in, do a cool move for an assist, and they kind of got to cool off before you use them again, so you can't just abuse it.
Right.
Man, this game is awesome. And once again, looking at the background, seeing the people in the background, seeing like the plants moving, seeing the wooden boards, the blood splatter showing up on them and like drying up and like staying there. Bruh, it's top-notch quality, and we out here eating FGC.
We out here eating.
Gotta be crying about nothing. Think about this. We got Street Fighter, Tekken, and Mortal Kombat dropping within the same year.
Right.
Come on, man. Come on.
They
I
about
don't
to
want
give
to
us
hear
the
it
second.
anymore.
They already. I signed up for the second 8 beta. It's gonna be closed beta, but if you put your name in the hat, they said they randomly calling people. So if we're gonna be playing a Tekken 8 beta, then Tekken 8's gonna come out sometime soon. I think you prophesied at this time, nerd. Tekken 8 might drop it by November.
I think Black Friday they're gonna get your money
We're
ready.
about to get a beta this month. Month. Or either this month or no, next month. The next month in July. The beta for Tekken 8 is closed beta. It's invitation only, but if you sign up for the little thing, they're gonna send random emails to people. So, if you get one, you get one. But that access, it happens in July. So we got a closed beta for Street Fighter 6 in January. There was another closed beta in February. There was an open beta in March, and the game dropped. No, there was an open beta in May. Open beta for Street Fighter 6 in May. The game dropped 2 weeks after the open beta. That wasn't even 6 months. That wasn't even a 6-month stretch of between closed beta to open beta to release. We're about to get the first closed beta for Tekken 8 next month. So maybe, I don't think we're going to make it out the year before Tekken 8 is fully released. Because they're going to have to do open beta. Closed beta is one. They're going to do a closed beta. I'm sure they're going to do an open beta. And then they're going to drop the game. Before the year out. Tekken 8.
We looking so pretty right now.
Yeah.
Now, also, another thing I wanted to talk about, like the way the devs are rolling for Mortal Kombat or MK1 even the assist, you can see the player slightly step to the side, so you see that they're actually like respecting the space. Like this is no diss to like the first, assist games that we had back in the day, but they would essentially kind of like walk through one another. They're
Right.
like way back, say something like first Marvel versus Capcom or something like that. They would kind of just sort of like walk through each other, or kind of like it would
Right.
they might be walking by each other, but you don't see the character show themselves kind of move for that character. You know what I'm saying?
Right. 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 I got.
Bruh, just the attention to detail on something like that is crucial to how well this is going to be received. And I think I haven't seen a bad word from it yet. Now I'm sure there's some hateration. Somebody gonna be like, well,
There's been some hateration already on
the
Mortal
ice,
Kombat.
when Sub-Zero's ice don't really be that cold or something. Somebody gonna come up with something
His
stupid.
eyes don't really be that cold.
But I mean, but man, this game looks incredible, man. I'm FGC trying to make a brother go broke this year, because
Hey, fam.
I haven't played Tekken since Tekken Tag, the first one. I haven't played Mortal Kombat since Mortal Kombat 3, way back in the 90s. And I'm thinking about actually picking up both of these. Because,
So
see,
you
you're
gonna
going to be
have
able to, I
Tekken
think
in-
these both are going to have crossplay, so you and I can play them.
Oh yeah,
And see,
everything's gonna be crossplay.
This is so new to me. I don't know who I would play as far as this goes, as far as Mortal Kombat goes, because back in the day I was a Scorpion guy, but who knows?
Well, I want to say this. Just slightly change subject for a minute. If you really want to learn how to play Street Fighter 6 on modern controls, because I said if you're gonna be playing with Cammy on modern, I would suggest you just run through the World Tour mode. Like really, don't take no fights from humans at all. Just run through World Tour mode, because I say this: World Tour mode difficulty level is on par with a human. Like this is the first video. This is the first fighting game where the CPU actually is on point with you. Like they meeting you right there where you like. It's not about you can't steamroll World Tour. That's all I can tell you. You can't steamroll. You can't. You're gonna have to use those mechanics that the game is teaching you, and it's teaching you throughout World Tour mode. So if you follow the story and read the script, listen to the cutscenes, and do all that, it's time consuming. Yes, it took me like 3 days. It took me like 3 days to finish World Tour mode. Three days of just sitting down for a couple of hours and then turning it off. But do that and fight the end boss and complete the story. Watch the credits, and then by the time you'll have a bunch of money, you'll probably have like 50,000 zennies, and you'll have a full health bar and full stats. You'll have maxed out your avatar. Whatever custom you come up with, it's not about the customization. Like your custom moveset, it's not about that. It's about the items you equip. Like your avatar, because I have avatar battle. To win an avatar battle, like what's the best moves or give to avatar? If there's no best move, it's the gear that you have.
Okay.
And you only gonna find armored up gear, like gear that gives you punching power and kick power and special move power and so on and so forth. You find those items in World Tour mode. And as you do those missions, the little side missions, and you get these little items, these little upgrades and stuff, like you try to find the best gear you can possibly find. And you level it up, you go to the shops and you enhance your gear to the max. Like whatever you equip with, max it out until you find something else stronger than that and equip that and max that out. Like it'll make sense. But running through the World Tour mode, because you gotta constantly grind these street fights. You gotta fight these people on the street to level up your character. Because if you go into certain story modes or certain story arcs and your level ain't high enough, you're gonna keep repeating that story arc until you beat it. Like they're gonna keep resetting you, and some things you don't want to start all over from the beginning from, because you gotta run all the way across town again, and ain't no car to drive. You gotta run. So
you gotta run over there.
Yeah. So it behooves you to get into of course fight enemies that are like 3 or 4 levels higher than you, but don't go too much higher. Like whatever your level is, find the enemy that's like 5 or 6 higher than you. That way you get that big chunk of experience points. That's it. But don't go too high because you're not gonna win that fight. I don't care how much you try to spam one move or what strategy you thought you told yourself was gonna work. The CPU is definitely different. The AI is really scary on this game. I was really shocked, but I did beat it. It's just having gone through World Tour mode, I have a better grasp on modern controls. Even though I'm a veteran player who come from a classic world, I'm just playing on modern because most of my veteran people is just like shunning it. Like, nah, I don't play on no modern. Like for me, I'm gonna give it a shot and kind of just learn a new way of playing. And going through World Tour mode, like now I was like, whoa, I think I'm kind of dangerous as I get better with just my character. It ain't the character that I'm playing with. I'm learning how to play on modern controls in such a way that's not easy mode. Like I'm not just pressing the button I'm not spamming like one move at a time because I can. Because I can, but I don't. I choose not to. Like I'm very stoic and very tactical and calculated with the way I play. So it's if you just want to learn and understand it, because the tutorials are so informative. Never in my life have I seen such a. All World Tour mode is a gigantic tutorial. That's all it really is.
Okay.
World Tour mode is a tutorial disguised as a story mode. That's what it is. It's a gigantic free roaming world disguised as a tutorial mode for modern control. That's what it is.
Nice.
And if you finish that joint, now you're gonna jump back on this joint. You're gonna find a character. Even if avatar battles are fun, by the way, I definitely recommend everybody build your avatar up to max it out. What is max? 50, level 50 or higher. Anything 50 or higher is maxed out. Of course, you can go higher than level 50, but if you want to survive an avatar fight, you got to be at least level 50. And max out your gear. Max out as many, Street Fighter Masters as you can, and get as many moves as you can. And listen, that's fun. It's just dumb fun. But go back to playing real Street Fighter 6 again with whoever you're using and play on modern controls. And I'm telling you, modern controls is not weak, but it's not super strong. It's just another form or another entryway into Street Fighter 6 that requires you to put some effort in. Like you can't just sit there and mash one button. You're gonna have to play as if you was on classic. It's a preference. And I'm just saying, for me, it's dope. But for you and anybody else listening that feels intimidated by Street Fighter 6, don't feel intimidated by all. Like, just have fun with it. But I recommend y'all run through World Tour mode, not for the story aspect of it, but for the simple fact of teaching yourself how to play on modern control. That's what it's for.
All right. Well, with that said, go on and hit me with some of your final thoughts for the FGC this week.
Final thoughts.
And where can they find you?
Final thoughts. I've had my fun with the modern controls versus classic controls debate. I had my little fun with it, posting my clips, beating up on classic controls people. But at the end of the day, man, there is no one. None's better than the other. Do you have your fun? You're not better than somebody or worse than somebody because of the control scheme you're using. You're not. It's all about you and not your control. Like it's how you play. You could play on classic and take an L from a modern player. You know what I'm saying? So you know what I'm saying? That's just my final thoughts on it. Everything else, I love what I'm seeing. MK11, MK1, Tekken 8, Street Fighter 6, and all the other indie games in between. If I can touch all of them, I would, but we eating good in the FGC. Y'all can find me at Open Mind, spell it with a Y on Twitter, Open Mind, spell it with a Y on YouTube, and Open Mind 82 on PSN for these PSN hands.
All right, that's what's up. NERDSoul, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, podcast, all that jazz. Man, get out there, play some fighting games. Also, this week we will be back with anime-ish. Demon Slayer is looking crazy. Hell's Paradise is looking crazy. So we got most stuff to talk about, my peoples. Also, we got some Transformers talk coming up with your boy Brandon Easton. I just got to get the schedule straight. Transformers was coming through, you know what I'm saying? Spider-Man was coming through. So we looking good, y'all. It's like, there ain't nothing to cry about. All right, you know what I'm saying? Y'all look, be happy. So from us to you, thank you for rolling through. And until the next fatality, until the next Hadouken, or until the next time your boy Leroy breaks you down with that little like 30 chest hit in your chest real quick. You know what I'm saying? This is for us to you saying peace.
Peace.